Greetings. We're going to test this knife out here and see if it's sharp. It's a Poden knife, Santoku knife. Santoku is a Japanese style knife. It means three virtues. But this is actually made in China, so it's not a fancy, expensive Japanese knife with VG10 steel or anything like that. It's a relatively cheap knife. I think I paid like $35 for it. It's a sharp knife. It's a knife. It's a nice knife. It's perfectly adequate. It comes from the factory, sharpened and sharp. But with routine use, it will get dull. The steel is not VG10. It's just I don't know what the steel is, but it's nothing particularly hard. It's closer to a Western style metal. So in other words, it's a soft metal, but it's perfectly adequate, just like any Western knife would be adequate. However, it is 15 degrees. So, but let's test this thing and see if it's sharp. I'm going to use my tomato test here. I'm just going to slide the knife along the skin of the tomato and see if it can pierce the tomato skin. So let's see what happens. Take this right here, just use the weight of the knife and just slide it across like that, and you can see it did not pierce the tomato. The tomato is still good. It didn't get in there at all. So what can we do to fix that? One's instinct is often to get the sharpener out, or whatever knife sharpening tool you have, and take some steel off the blade to make it sharper. That's what most people do, I think, but that's incorrect. All you really need to do is hone the knife, because what happens to the edge of the knife, what happens to the blade here is the blade will get curled with routine use. The edge of the blade should be like this. Instead, it gets curled like this, and in the other direction as well. So when it gets curled, it's not going to be as sharp. The blade will still be sharp. The apex of the blade will still be sharp. It'll still be coming to a point, as it should. But that point is not being realized as you use the knife because of the curled section of the blade. So what you do is you can use a steel or another tool to hone the blade and realign that curled edge. And if you do that, then your knife will become magically sharp without sharpening it. Because you didn't sharpen it, all you did was straighten the edge or hone it. And you can use various tools. One of the classic tools to use is a steel. It's a good idea to know how to use a steel so that you don't make a mistake and make the knife worse than what it is. But I've got this tool right here which will hone a knife. It's got three different materials in here. The first one will grind your knife down, so I'm not going to use that one. I never use slot number 1 here. Slot number 2 will align just like a steel would align, except it aligns both sides at the same time. And slot number 3 will polish it. That's what they say. They call it polishing. But either way, the strategy is that you will realign the apex of your knife so that it's just like it should be. And the idea is I'm going to use slot number 2 3 times, and I'm going to come over here 3 times, and then I'll go back and forth a few times, and then we'll test it and see if it works. So I'm going to take this knife right here and just lightly slide it on slot number 2, just like that. I'm not going to use slot number 1. I'm going to start with slot number 2 because I don't want to sharpen it. I just want to hone it. Then I'm going to come over here to slot number 3, which they say will polish it. And then I'm going to go back over to number 2 just for good luck. Go a couple more times, right, like this. Slot number 3. I'm just using the weight of the knife, really. I'm not pressing down. And then I'm going to go back to number 2. One more time. Slot number 3. One more time. And hopefully the knife will now be aligned. The apex or the edge of the knife will be aligned. So I'm going to take that tomato slice again, that cherry tomato, and put it right here. We're going to put the knife here, and again I'm just going to use the weight of the knife to slide it, and we'll see what happens. That's crazy. I only got like 2 inches before it went all the way through. So what have we learned? We don't have to sharpen the knife when you have a dull knife. All you need to do is hone it. You can use a steel. You don't have to use this device here. Like this, you can get this as KAI. It's designed for 15 degrees, so it's designed for Asian knives, not that expensive. Or you can use a steel. Let me show you what the steel looks like. Sorry about that. This is an amateur video, by the way, in case you can't tell. So this is the steel, and I got this thing on for Western knives, I think, but this thing just helps you. But yeah, you take the steel and you hold this at 15 degrees, and you slide it like this. And you probably have a steel in your drawer somewhere, and that'll also hone it. I just like to use this because it's absolutely precise at 15 degrees. So that's it.